how to find the acceleration of an object being pushed across a horizontal surface. First thing you're going to do is draw the free body diagram. The free body diagram represents all the forces acting on the object. Every object near the surface of the Earth always has the force of gravity. This is also called weight. If the object is on a surface, it also has the normal force. The normal force is always perpendicular to the surface. Because this is a horizontal surface, or a flat surface, the normal force points directly up. If you read the problem, it tells you the object is being pushed. Pushing is an applied force. You also will see that it has a coefficient of friction. This tells you the object has friction acting on it, and friction always moves in the opposite direction of motion. Now that we have the forces acting on our object in our free body diagram, we're going to write our net force equations in the x and y direction. When you're writing your net force equations, there are only two options. Option 1 is equilibrium. If the object is not accelerating, it is equal to 0. If the object is accelerating, it is not in equilibrium and it's equal to ma. In this case, we know it has an acceleration, so we're going to set it equal to ma. It is only accelerating in the x direction, because that's the direction of motion. In the y direction, the object is in equilibrium, so it's equal to 0. Once we have our net force equations, we're going to substitute the forces that are acting on the object from our free body diagram into the appropriate places. In the x direction, I only have two forces, the force applied and friction. So instead of writing F net x, I'm writing Fa minus friction, because the force applied is positive and the friction is negative. And then I just bring down the ma. In the y direction, I have the normal force acting in the positive direction, and gravity, or the weight, acting in the negative direction. After I have this, I'm going to solve for the missing information by using substitution. I know Fa is a number, so I'm just going to leave it Fa for now. I know to find friction, I have to use the friction max equation, mu times Fn. In order to get A by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by the mass. In the y direction, because I know I need Fn, I'm going to get Fn by itself. So I add Fg to both sides. Now I solve. Fn is equal to Fg. Fg is the same thing as m times g, the mass times the acceleration due to gravity, or the free fall acceleration. Now that I have everything set up in equation form, I can start plugging in my given information. Mass is 100 kilograms. The coefficient of friction is 0.35. G, we use 10. And the force applied given is 500 newtons. Now it just becomes a matching game. I plug in the information according to the variables provided. Fa is 500. mu 0.35. Fn, well, let's solve. M was 100, G is 10. So that means Fn is 1,000. All over the mass of the object, which is 100. Now it just becomes a type it in the calculator and solve. To simplify, you get 500 minus 0.35 times 1,000, which is 150, over 100. Divide that out. Your acceleration is 1.5 meters per second squared. And that's it.